Hello, hello, and welcome to Simulacra Studios presents Trinity Continuum ANIMA as part of the 2023 Onyx Path Virtual Convention. So many words. I am your humble story guide, Scott. My pronouns are he, him. And here we have a lovely group of players who I'll allow to introduce themselves, starting with our animated friend here.
Oh my goodness, that's probably Corbin.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a really good
Oh,
model.
okay,
How did you
okay.
how did
Maybe
you
it's
get
me.
the?
Maybe it's. I mean, Corbin's extremely high definition. I can't
Yeah,
get over
exactly.
this.
The texture
No, all
details are
right,
just.
fine. My name is Millie. My pronouns are she and her, or they and them. I'm also bunny hearted. I'm a '90s anime styled bunny girl VTuber and giant dork. I can often be found on my own channel or at Dork Tales, which is another rad tabletop gaming crew, and sometimes on the Onyx Path itself, as well as here. Oh, I'm popping into a bunch of streams all week, and I'm secretly in every single one, lurking in the background ominously. You can't stop me. Today, I'm playing Roxy Smithsonian, sort of a corporate lobbyist with a heart of gold and maybe a small addiction to a video game.
All right, and let's go down on my screen to Corbin.
Okay, I am Corbin, also known as the Awkward GM on YouTube. You can find me on there. I'm on Twitch. I don't Twitch that much, but I Twitch on Onyx Path's channel every week, not my own. I do a beginner's guide for games that are Onyx Path related, and then I'm trying to think. Twitter. I'm on Twitter, kind of. Um, I'm playing today Romeo Scar, who Romeo in the real world, Anima Scar. Um, he's a streamer, which has a had a big following at one point because of one thing, and he keeps trying to catch that same 15 minutes of fame. He is also a ghost wolf.
Oh yes, member of the Hacker Collective. And finally, Simon. I think we got skipped you out there. We're going to you, Simon, for introductions.
All right. I did just say my internet connection is unstable, oddly enough. So if I get crackly, let me know.
That's fine.
So my name's Simon. I am tonight. I'm playing Ian Lee, who is the ward of a wealthy Cascadian. After his parents were brutally murdered, he was taken under his wing and sort of shown the seedier side of Cascade's upper crust, though he belongs pretty firmly inside it, and at the same time works as something of a hacktivist, something of a troll in Terra Surge as he attempts to live up to the legacy of his patron, once known as the Shrike.
Excellent. All right. Well, the two ghost wolves of the party, you had recently received a message from someone who you eventually discover is a high-level operative within the Aeon Covenant, who has recruited you for some pretty high-stakes espionage against the FSA, which is a
This
little
is the Awkward
odd
GM,
because
Corbin.
Aeon, as a whole, doesn't tend to directly oppose the FSA in terms of like this sort of action. So that's a little weird. But you've done what you need to do to kind of confirm that this is at least on some level legit. So you have decided to follow through and come to this meeting that is happening within Terra Surge. As for the member of the Aeon Covenant, you know a little bit more about what's happening. At least you know a little bit more about this person, Roxy. His name is Machno, and he is an Aeon operative, much like yourself. Maybe has a decade of more experience than you. And he's kind of a spy. He is someone who is very deeply entrenched in Aeon's counter initiatives against the fascist atrocity that is the FSA. So yeah, he's kind of a person that does a lot of dirty work for the FSA, and he has personally reached out and recruited you for this particular mission because he just something about you and your activities seems to strike a chord with him. He thinks he can trust you, and he lets you know that this mission is authorized, but it's so deep cover that you probably wouldn't be able to find it on the books anywhere if you looked. And you can be as dubious or credulous about that assertion as you wish. But regardless, all three of you have been given basically a piece of information that will guide you to this meeting within Terra Surge. It is a combination of 3 different instructions. One is a location. The second is the instruction to start a fight, then lose it, because this meeting is going to be taking place in the underworld of Terra Surge.
Ooh.
So you got to die to get in for the first part. And the third bit of instruction is to make it look good, because who knows might be watching. And so we zoom in into Terra Surge, out in a far distant kind of liminal territory between some of the more popular zones. It's just sort of this vast desert at nighttime. And the only feature for miles upon miles in the virtual space is this small mountain, which as you have gotten closer, you realize is not so much a mountain as more as like a giant bug hill, packed with millions upon millions of these like skull-faced beetles, who aren't the bug people of Terra Surge. So they're not like sentient creatures. They're not, they're not, you can't talk to them. But you have, per the instructions, started a fight and whipped up this. So there is just thousands upon thousands of these death beetles pouring out of this bug mountain. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to ask each of you to describe your anima and then describe how you go out like a badass. And we'll go in reverse order, and we'll start with Shrike.
Okay, so his anima, so the anima Shrike, has, I guess, sort of that brigandine kind of like strip leather armor with sections of chain in between it. It's all like a pitch black kind of color, as is the cloak he wears over top, save for the white, I don't know what you'd call them, I guess just not fully triangles that sort of go in an ear or horn spot on the hood. And then his face is just a mask. It's a sheer white, smooth, featureless mask. And he has a particularly nasty looking curved blade as his weapon of choice. So he's, upon seeing the hordes of skull-faced beetles, just growls, "This is the fight we have to lose," and runs into it, sort of spinning the blade about, trying to look all cool. And I'm sure the coders have done an excellent job with Terra Surge to make everything look particularly badass, and eventually succumbs under the weight of them as he builds a pile beneath, but there are too many and they crawl over top and drag him below. The last thing is his gauntleted hand sinking into the pile.
All right, and we'll move over to Corbin. Please describe your anima and how you go down like an epic hero.
Scar is a kind of large insectoid man, mantis man, with a kind of the mandibles clicking, with giant green eyes and tan skin that matches the sand-colored skin made of chitin that matches with the desert dunes around us. He, as far as the clothes are concerned, he is basically wearing like buckles and belts of leather and some various animal hides that have been repurposed into armor. He's carrying his mercurial blade that is switching into bow from in crossbow in different ways and allowing him to slice through different bugs as he says, "Foul savages, how could you become my people? You are nothing but a shadow of us." And he is going to be jumping in and getting swarmed as he is looking in his mind. He is looking at his streaming count to see how many people he's getting, which is probably in about the single digits.
And probably at that point you remember, oh wait, I'm on a secret spy mission. I should probably shut that off.
Oh no, it's to make it look good. He's gonna shut it off when he dies.
Fair enough.
And he gets swarmed. Various creatures getting behind him as a stinger goes right through his sternum and falls to the ground.
All right, and finally we will move to Roxy. Please describe your anima and your epic downfall.
Sure. So Rox's anima is Barbarian. Rox is a very, very committed role player. So she is going to stare at this chittering horde and scream, "Chittering foe, Barbarian would never succumb to monsters like you. I may not have started this fight, but by the gods, I will never lose it. Bring it on, bugs!" And launch towards them with her flashing red blade, swinging impossibly powerfully as often as she possibly can until she's chewed to tiny little pieces, fighting back with every fiber of her avatar.
All right. So yes, you're all of your death counts count down to 0. As with the vain hope that someone might come by and heal you and bring you back up in the middle of this chittering horde. And your avatars. There's a loading screen that happens for just a few seconds that advertises the Terra Surge and Artemis server crossover event coming in just 2 weeks. It's where you can play with players on the moon for a brief period of time. And then it transitions over to kind of a color inverse of this desert. So you have this like large black moon with this pale white sky and little sprinklings of darkness. And this sort of vast darkness of sand beneath you. The mountain is not here, neither are any of the bugs, and you're all just sort of left in this quiet, dead emptiness, with only your fellow animas to see for miles and miles around.
I'll hold out a hand for Barry and say that was an excellent death. Help you out.
Ooh, ghost noises. Thanks.
It's quiet. Almost too quiet.
I'm glad to see you get into the role play of the game.
What are you talking about?
I'm just gonna hold up little rabbit ear quotes to sign like out of character, cross her fingers, which I can kind of do. I know, right? This game is just so much fun to roleplay in. I love it so much. Anyways. Right. 'Twas a glorious end. The best I could have hoped for. My father would be proud. I have a father now.
Lovely. If someone would like to give me an Arcana roll to try and maybe pick out any signs of magic or signs of where you might need to go from here in this vast emptiness.
Okay. I've got an Arcana of 3. Anyone want to assist?
This is from our anima class,
Yeah,
right?
this is for your anima card. This is not your real world abilities.
Yeah. I don't think I have Arcana.
I have 1. Is that worth the assist?
No.
Really.
So it's just Arcana or Arcana plus?
It's going to be Arcana plus one of your approaches. So physical, mental, or social, or force. No, it's force, finesse, and force, finesse, and resilience.
Shall I do force then?
That sounds good. So you're like actively looking and trying to like pierce the veil of any.
Looking for any markings and such. Oh God. Okay. What's a botch in this system? Is there?
What a botch does is so it just means that something bad happens in addition to you failing. But it also gives you 2 momentum. So since there are 3 players, you start with 3 momentum. But you can also, now that you have a botch, you add 2 to that total. So you have 5 momentum to play around.
I don't know if I have a botch. I just have no successes.
If you have no successes, that's a simple failure. But you get 1 momentum. So now you're playing with a total of 4 momentum.
Okay.
So yeah, you sort of pierce the arena and do not detect anything. And thus, all of you are surprised when sort of standing amongst you is this small, sort of hunched over figure with a little lantern at its side. And it just sort of like appears amongst you. And little exclamation points show up over your heads to indicate that you are surprised. But luckily, this thing does not attack. It simply holds up the lanterns into each of your faces, and then turns around and starts to shuffle off into the distance.
I'm being the one doing that. We follow.
I say we strike onward, pursue the small, glowing lantern guy.
As you look,
barbarian wordy.
Verily.
You think
verily? Oh, that's good.
At first, you think that this thing might be like a small kundiri, one of the more like bestial animal type people of Synestia. But as you sort of like watch it move, you realize that it's actually a sentient. It is a doll of a kundiri who has been possessed by some arcane spirit. And it moves a little haphazardly, and you kind of see the parts where the fur doesn't quite line up, and you see sort of the wood and metal joints underneath it. But eventually it sort of leads out into the desert, and then you watch as it starts to sink step by step into presumably more sand, but it seems to be like walking steadily down into it. And within moments, the light of the lantern goes under the sand, leaving you all in darkness.
I presume there were stairs.
Ghost stairs.
There may be ghost stairs. Do you all follow it down?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Gingerly poking at the sand to make sure.
Yeah, your blade goes right through it without any resistance. So you're not sure if this is an actual like feature of the game or this might be a glitch. Things are magical and strange, but it seems like you can walk down through the stands on an invisible set of stairs.
Okay, let's do this. Leroy. No.
That was early. So yeah, you follow it down into a torch-lit cave that seems to be set up under the sand. It's very dark, very spooky. Not a lot of just light and shadow. And eventually, this little kundiri doll makes its way up to kind of a platform.
This is the awkward.
Multiple columns around it, with these stone chairs set onto the edges of it, and sitting into one of them is a huge hulking kundiri man, who you see the name tag over his anima says he is Lorge. And he notices you and beckons you into the chamber and motions to the chairs.
Do the chairs appear ominous in any fashion?
Oh yeah, they're super ominous. Like they're like dark, like stone and angular, and don't look very comfortable. And the torchlight hits them in weird ways. So yeah, super ominous.
No chair could defeat Barbarian. Sit.
And I shall sit as well.
An out of character question about Terra Surge.
Mm-hmm.
It has it should be treated in game as its own full-on world in the sense of like it's not quite like an MMORPG where we're somewhat restricted in what we can do. It's full on, like
Yeah, it's
this
full
this looks
full immersion. Like
okay.
you can, but you can tweak those settings. Like if you don't want to feel pain, you don't have to. If you don't want to get tired, you don't have to. It's just you can set all these. There's dozens upon dozens of sliders that you can set, and like that includes like putting HUDs up. Like it can be 100% realistic, or it can be this sort of like AR mix of reality and unreality.
So if you wanted to inspect the chairs for traps,
Yeah, absolutely.
things that'll pop out and secure our wrists, kind of thing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's definitely going to start, poking around and trying to see if there's any pressure plates and things like that.
Sure thing. Yeah, the skill list is not as expensive as the normal one. Let's just go with a stealth action. To kind of like counteract traps and whatnot. It's like if I were setting a trap, it would be here.
I guess this seems like more of a finesse thing.
Yeah, that would be appropriate.
Yeah, but like force. But here we are, 2 dice. 1 success.
You detect no traps.
Okay.
And they just seem to be super ominous looking chairs.
These chairs appear to be safe.
Lorge speaks up with a sort of like grumbling, gravelly voice and says, "Yeah, the chairs are fine, man."
Why would a
We never be
patron
too careful.
want to kill us?
I mean, I wouldn't even be killing you. I'd be killing. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Wait, can you even die in this game if you're already dead in this game?
Yeah, I don't think there's like double death.
Is there an underworld?
I don't know. I haven't explored that far. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for coming.
I put my hand on my head. So we're talking out of character, right?
Yeah, dude. No, this is like real shit.
Oh yeah,
like,
I was crossing. Sorry, I crossed them behind my back. It's not really helpful. Turns out.
Like I respect your commitment to the game, man. But like we're kind of talking real world shit now. This is kind of like a secure area that I've been able to get into. And it should be minimal surveillance from the narrators or anything. We can talk freely here.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, thanks for all coming. It's like, and we'll go ahead and just use your Terra Surge names for now, just because we are connected to a vast neural interactive simulation. So who the hell knows? But yeah, so Barbariana, thank you for coming. Shrike and sorry, Carl, what was your avatar's name?
Scar.
Shrike, Scar. Heard great things about you two. So I'm sure you're curious about what's up.
Yes.
All right, so I've been on this beat for a good long time. Pretty much ever since before the FSA was the FSA. I don't know if you guys know your history, but the USA wasn't that great in terms of not being an oppressive monster. But the FSA is just like 100 times worse. But I've been working on trying to get dirt on them, trying to get something that we can present to the UN or something to try and delegitimize them. And I think I might have found something. If my sources are correct, I think they may be tampering with some aberrant tech.
Ooh,
and
nasty.
Yeah, it's some real nasty stuff. So we need to confirm that. So what I've got for you is, just like we could use Terra Surge as kind of like a secret hiding, place with low surveillance. I'm pretty sure they've got a data store somewhere here in the underworld. I'm gonna need you guys to find it and get some pass keys to a real world location where we can hopefully confirm that they're tankering with some black tech.
Oh, like an underworld dead drop. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
That's quite apt.
Yeah, I think
professional courtesy.
I've been doing a lot of data mining, and I think I found a quest that leads you up to the area where they've got the entrance to their dead drop. So if you guys are all up to it, I can. And he kind of like there's like a HUD active. It's like player Lorge wants to share a quest with you.
Do we shake on it in character too?
We can absolutely shake on it if you want. Like I said, I respect the commitment to immersion. You know, I get so much satisfaction out of hitting things.
Yeah.
But
You know, I can kind of relate. You just can't hit people at the office.
yeah.
Usually.
So yeah, if you guys can get these data keys, then I think we can actually get into the real world location and sniff these rats out.
Okay, let's do it.
We can
All
do
right.
this.
Are we forming a party? What's our party name?
Yeah, you guys should probably link up if you aren't already.
Okay.
I am going to be I'm going to be going in another area. There's kind of a gathering place nearby for underworld quests. I'm going to go and start stirring up some chaos to keep the heat off you guys while you do this.
Now we are going to spend 2 hours coming up with our party name. Thank you.
Nice.
There's got to be a randomizer somewhere.
There absolutely is. But so after those 2 hours, what is the party name?
The Quest Exploders. No, I don't know.
Ah,
There's
man.
got to be something better than that one.
The Middlemen. I don't know.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm a little biased. I like the TV show for the 1 to 10 episode season it had.
Nice.
I don't think I've even heard of it before.
All right, we'll go with the middleman. That sounds cool. So yeah, you accept the quest, which is the Tomb of the Unknown, and we will go ahead and start that quest. No need to roll for phase 1 because you just kind of like shared a quest from him. But yeah, so we'll go into phase 2, which is travel. And the way quests work in this game is they're kind of like a staged action. You kind of all have to make a roll, and there are complications that you have to overcome. So the information that you have is that there is kind of this fast-moving sand current that if you can find, will take you to the entrance of the Tomb of the Unknown. Let's go and see how you guys go about trying to locate this particular cavern, this sand current. So yeah, each of you kind of gets an attempt to make to overcome the difficulty of it. So how would you want to go about looking for this current? If you have
Is
any
it sort
power,
of the only one, or are there like multiple currents where we're trying to find a specific one?
yeah, you're trying to find a specific one. You may or may not, depending on what you chose, have powers or abilities that interact with the travel phase of a quest. If you want to look over your sheets and see if anything would help with that.
The only thing I can see is possibly lore. Otherwise, I can summon copies of myself.
Okay. Yeah, the abilities would be specifically. They would specifically mention a phase in which they go in. But you could make a lore roll if you wanted to.
If no one else has something that interacts.
I got 1 point in lore.
I meant like a aspect, or what is it called?
Yeah, an aspect.
Yeah.
An ability.
No, mine are all pretty violent.
Okay. I'll roll a lore check then. I
Okay.
think this is probably more finesse based, I'd guess. So I'm only gonna have 5 dice, but I'm guessing my dice are gonna kill me in some way.
And there's going to be a level 1 complication on a +1 complication on this, which is you'll be noticed for going into strange and forbidden areas of the underworld.
Ah, great. Might I have one of those sweet momentums?
That is up to the rest of the table.
Take and run. Wait, didn't you generate 2 of them? Just take those.
No, I just took one. I just generated one, but I'm just taking that one.
Right, okay.
I take that as a yes.
Yeah.
Woo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 2 explosions.
All right.
So 3 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you find a lead. You kind of like you think back to some of your lore of the underworld that you've gathered, and you think back and you know the general like conditions in which these sand currents are going. So yeah, and would you like to buy off the complication as well?
Yes.
Okay. So the difficulty overall is 3, so someone needs to make an additional success to pinpoint which exact sand current you guys need to get into. So would anyone want to pitch something that would help them find such a thing?
I mean, I could also go for lore, but I'm curious if I can combine force with lore by just rampaging angrily in a direction.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Just kind of like go on your guts.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. I have nothing.
Nothing.
I rolled 2 7s, which are unfortunately not my target here.
Indeed. So yeah, so you kind of like go running out into the night and you find a sand current. But it just takes you like off in the opposite direction that Scar indicated, and it takes you a little bit while to go back, and you are also unable to buy off the complication. So little will-o-wisps start to sort of appear in the sky above you, which seem to start following you. You're not sure exactly what their providence is, but you know that eyes are upon you.
Do we have a form of long distance party chat?
Yeah, absolutely you do.
Yeah, if I'd been like swept way off into the distance, I'd probably warn these 2.
Yeah, you're able to get in contact, and like it dumps you out on kind of a sandbar, and you're able to kind of navigate your way back. As is Shrike going to be making an attempt to find something?
Yeah. So I'm wondering. I mean, I guess his anima abilities to do this are kind of minimal, but I was wondering if his real world persona can hack it at all, because I wanted to use my one of my griefing guild benefits.
Yeah, you can use your Grief Guild benefit.
Okay, so there's the one that of get a +3 enhancement to create or exploit a temporary bug in the game.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, if you want to, you would need to make a roll to do so.
Yeah.
So you could do lore like these other 2, or you could pitch me another roll.
And it would still be an anima roll.
It would still be an animal roll, yeah.
Okay.
But you would get that enhancement from your from your Griefing Guild.
Sure. Athletics doesn't really seem to make sense here. Arcana?
You could try and
yeah, Arcana might work.
Okay. So the bug you wanted to create is one that highlights this specific
Okay,
path.
cool. Yeah.
Just-
So if you do like the right magical chanting, then the thing gets highlighted.
Cool. Okay. So I'd like to find a way to use force on this.
you could barrel through into the dune.
Yeah.
But into the right into the right dune.
Oh yes. Okay, well could not the chant like just involve some
Yeah, I mean,
swinging of the sword down into the ground, which then shatters the fake or the
absolutely
wrong ones around it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so 3 from force, 1 from Arcana, and then I'll have that +3 enhancement sitting there.
Yep.
1, it's 8s?
Yeah, it's 8s and above.
2. So 2 plus a 3 enhancement.
All right, yeah, you blow it away with some help from Scar, kind of getting the right area. Not any help at all from Barbarian, and your bug exploitation. You're able to find the right current, and all 3 of you can dive in and be swept away by the sand into the sands of the underworld.
The world has a weak code here.
It does.
Indeed. Yes. So you all come upon you guys are sort of like dumped out off a little sand waterfall, and sort of cutscene tumble down into this subterranean grotto, where this giant, like, stone, circular stone door carved with many runes is standing above you. It's a good 3 stories high, so it towers over all of your animas. And you're fairly certain that the data, whatever the data store is that has these pass keys dead dropped in it, is probably behind that door. But there's this chill, ominous, all of you have played long enough to recognize the music that plays before a boss battle starts to happen. Like, so probably like once you cross a certain line is when the boss battle is going to start. But that kind of like low-key, intense building music is playing.
Anyone got any buffs before we take on a raid boss?
What even happens if we lose down here?
I don't know. Level penalties? Something? I don't know.
Ugh.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry, I don't roleplay in the underworld that often.
It's fair enough. I just never die. Ignored all those deaths.
Yeah, so you guys have any buff abilities, anything you want to put up before the fight?
I guess I will use, because I'm actually a Kundera, it turns out. I'm going to use a Poison Dancer, which I think allows me to put poison on things.
Probably.
I guess. I don't see any details on what it does. So...
Yeah, let's see what that does. One moment to search this manuscript.
No
Effect.
worries.
Anytime the animal would suffer effects from the poison condition, she
Totally,
instead
yeah,
ignores the
backwards.
condition. And so it essentially, yeah. So basically, if it allows you to prevent from being poisoned.
Yeah, slightly the opposite of what I assumed it did.
Oh,
but that's still pretty cool.
I will summon some quells.
Okay.
As I am a quell bug person. I roll my Arcana plus...
It's just an Arcana.
yeah, Arcana action to summon drones equal to number of successes. So it's just Arcana, not any other...
it's Arcana plus approach.
Okay, I'm going to try and focus into my power on this one and be like... Come forth, my brothers! And... let's hope this works. I have 6 dice. I guess my brothers were out to lunch.
Uh-oh. No successes?
No successes.
And unfortunately, that's a login power, so you only get once per login.
Oh, goddamn. It
so
always summons at least one drone, so there is
okay.
one drone, and I'm like...
So, like, you kick up the big, like, arcane dust, and like, the zone-in effects start happening. Like, there's a bunch of chittering, and then, boop, one little drone buddy.
Okay. That'll do, drone. That'll do.
Indeed.
I may have something. Can I use gifts here?
You cannot use gifts in Terra Surge. If you have the Ghost Wolf in the zone gift, you can use dramatic editing within Terra Surge.
I don't think I took that. I did not. Okay, so that'll be just for Cascade.
Yeah. All right, so you're not going to do anything in preparation?
Just crack my knuckles and draw my sword.
All right. So yeah, you draw your sword, you get the buffs up, someone eventually crosses that invisible threshold, and the stone door explodes out from within as this amorphous, shadowy blob lurches itself out and starts extending pseudopods at random as this blobous mass starts to come for you. So yeah, once again, this is going to be a difficulty 3 problem. So you have to roll 3 successes, and there is an additional +2 complication, which if you do not buy off, you will receive damage on your anima. So yeah, you're going to be rolling like magic attack, block, like your combat abilities to try and overcome this monster. So yeah, and you have to achieve a total of 3 successes that are not spent on complications to destroy it.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, I think Barbary Aaron has a plan. I don't know if you two would act first if we have initiative or.
We don't really have initiative here.
I'll let you take
Okay,
it.
awesome.
Go for it.
Sure. I did look up Mercurial Weapon, which looks rad as heck. So I think that she is going to dance backwards and say, keep it at range. Flip her sword over into a longbow and blast at it.
Start blasting.
Start blast? I can only blast once. It's like an arrow, but
Okay,
maybe it
yeah.
explodes. That sounds cool.
Yeah, so that'll be a physical attack roll.
Okay, so my physical attack says +1 ranged and +1 melee. Do I add that to the roll or is that damage?
That is enhancement to the roll.
Enhancement. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. And then I feel like this is actually more finesse than force for this
makes
particular
sense,
maneuver.
yeah.
So let's use that. 1, 2, 5, 2.
Two
+1
successes.
ranged.
All right, so you can apply that 2 successes to the overall difficulty, or you can buy off the 2 complications.
Let's get rid of the complications.
Okay, so that means that you avoid taking damage, but you don't add any successes to defeating the boss.
That sounds good. Does that remove those complications for others in the party too?
Nope. They're for.
Oh, never mind. Let's do damage.
Okay, all right. So yeah. So wait. So how many? Sorry. How many?
I had 2 successes with 1 enhancement.
Oh, okay. So you have 3. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So let's buy off the complication and do 1 damage then.
Okay. Yeah, you do 1 damage to it and are able to put away without getting hit. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll take a stab at it. Quite literally, as you'll dash forward and flash the blade about and cut it in all sorts of unpleasant ways. So you're gonna roll physical attack plus force.
Plus whatever enhancement your abilities give you.
Plus the I thought enhancement would come afterwards.
Yeah, it comes afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Once you get it.
That's it. It does say so for I think it's from Fearless Bombardier class. I get a common weapon enhance 2.
Yeah,
so that's an enhancement after
2 enhancement.
Yeah. 2 successes, and then I have melee +1, so that's 1 enhancement, and then enhancement weapon 2, so that's 3 enhancements on top. So I can do 2 to buy off the complication, and then 3 damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you are actually able to fell the monster. You sort of wade in, find its pseudopod heart, and cut it to shreds. And you guys have defeated the boss, and your quest marker goes from like in middle of the quest to return quest, which there's a reward for this, but you guys are here for a different reason.
Make sure it doesn't grow a wing.
Yeah. The monster sort of starts to dissolve into it, and this giant, massive stone door is just rubble in front of you. You can't. It doesn't look like you're supposed to get in there.
I think I'm gonna use Into the Zone.
Oh, okay.
I want to try and. Oh, can I? Or maybe I can't use it. I don't know how.
No, if you have In the Zone, you can dramatic edit within Terra Search.
So I'm still new to the system. What is dramatic editing?
Dramatic editing is one of like a talent, which all 3 of you are talents, sort of core power, and you can literally edit reality. You can have like these lucky coincidences that happen as a result of your connection to a force called an energy called flux, which is the energy when different dimensions and realities sort of butt up against each other. And within Terra Surge, this manifests through this gift by you sort of like subconsciously altering the activities of the narrators that control this world.
Okay.
But it basically means you can change reality in here.
Okay. Can I spend some inspiration because I think it has a cost.
Yeah, you
but
have
you
to spend
determine
inspiration to do it.
to sort of like go up to the wall and start doing like the Skyrim like horse climb, like glitching to like find the hitbox and to like find like a little zone of the hitbox where I can interact with the door and go through.
Absolutely, you can. Yeah, so you can absolutely do that.
Ominously walk up the thing, floating sideways, constantly vibrating.
Yeah, that is exactly how it looks.
Guys, come in. I found a glitch.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so you are all able to follow Scar into this this cave, and when you come in, it is an eerie sight because it is like it's not like a black void or just like an undeveloped untextured level thing, but it's clearly like maybe at one point they wanted to put something in here, so all the textures are just very rudimentary, like sort of scratch pad textures, and you can see like code notes here and there. Like maybe this was going to be a quest at one point, like it was once you've defeated this raid boss. But it seems like a lot of stuff has been scrubbed. But after digging around for a few minutes, you find, much like in Skyrim, you do find like these sort of broken urns that when you smash, you find a long string of like encrypted code key data in them.
Fancy.
So yeah, so you have successfully achieved the real world data key from this Terra Surge adventure. You are able to extract yourself. Does anyone care about turning in the actual quest and like getting some gold?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. You make
Team role players over here.
Yeah. You make your way back to this sad little ghost family, who have been terrorized by this blob monster in their sad little ghost village, and they give you like a sack of 3 gold. And this weird, mysterious looking like kind of like a small like statue of a god, like a house deity, that has probably some purpose somewhere.
I'll turn on my stream for a little bit. Guys, I'm sorry I paused the stream and I missed it out, but look all this cool stuff we got for completing this quest.
Oh my god, are we on a stream right now?
Right now.
Hi, internet. Oh my god, hello.
Hey, you want to share your socials? We can put it on here. We can collab in the future.
Your 3 followers.
I don't have socials.
Your 3 followers like jump on and be like, "Oh, that's cool stuff. Underworld quests are super hardcore. Are you going to be doing more Underworld quest streaming? This is cool. I love Underworld content. Underworld content sucks. It's a boring distraction from the main game, and you suck for doing it. I'm going to unsubscribe if you keep doing this shit."
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Oh,
I guess I have to put a poll up and disregard it. And I stop the stream and then
have a little cry.
But the antidepressants help.
Corbin,
anyway,
what role are we playing? The victim?
Originally, I was going to be a VTuber.
Wait, why didn't you?
I mean, because
then I would have been able to say my favorite line ever to say in a game. Wait, what's a VTuber?
Well, technically, we're all VTubers in Terra Surge because the avatars are that good. The animas, rather.
So, yeah, you guys have this data bit. Machno Lord texts you like when he sees that the quest is confirmed. He says, "Great job," and he sends you he also sends you like an encrypted message with like and like instructions on how to find the key. Like you kind of have to do it like a little bit of espionage work to find it, but you eventually find a physical location in Cascade where you are supposed to meet tomorrow in the flesh.
IRL.
Yeah.
Flesh tubing.
I
Lol.
know.
Oh
It's-
God.
It's disgusting. Why would you ever do anything in the real world? But anyway, so unless anyone has business that they want to accomplish in Terra Church, we will log out and get back to reality. Oh, whoops! There goes gravity. And we'll start with Roxy. When Roxy logs out, what does Roxy look like in the real world, and what is the room in which she does her gaming look like?
Sure. So I think Roxy's at work. She's in a break room. This was her break. She looks sort of like your standard corporate marketing phase. She's in a very tight, well-fitting suit. She's a white woman with blonde hair. She's got like perfect teeth, stylish glasses. Very much looks the part for someone you would want to let into any boardroom. The kit that you use for this, is it something that can be packed up into like a briefcase or something?
No, I mean it's
Like a whole thing?
Yeah, it is a neural implant. So
Right,
you
okay.
essentially you put an OpNet cable into a port in your head.
Yeah, she fully just closes the blinds in her office. Like, she's working late. She's burning that midnight oil. Her coworkers probably think something unfortunate is happening, but she's just a nerd.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
She'll click
So,
clack her heels down the hallway and go get some food.
okay, so you head to the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll move over to Romeo. What does Romeo look like in the real world, and what does his gaming room look like?
Romeo is a second-class citizen in a very shabby apartment. Basically, one room with with a sink, toilet, oven, fridge, or not an oven, a microwave, and he is just like sitting on a futon that he's propped up against the wall to be a couch for a bit, and he's got like this shaved punky haircut with like the mohawk, but it's all to the side down on one end, and he's just got like a t-shirt, jeans, but his arms are covered in these luminous tattoos that are embedded with fiber optic cables, and allows him to choose the color of them. Right now they're sort of going through the color wheel, as it were.
RBG, good stuff.
Yeah, and he gets a beer, looks at his various credit account from the streaming, and sees 1 penny.
Oh no.
Or whatever the equivalent
Yeah,
is.
one yuan. All right, and what about Lan Li? Let's move over to him.
So Ian is relatively. Let me just check his stats to confirm. Yeah, so he's athletic-ish, relatively, but more on the wiry side. Stubble, kind of gelled, swept to the side hair, and he opens the door from his sensory deprivation tank to climb out into a very very iFuture-esque, very blank room, where he wipes his face, presses a few buttons on the wall to have a glass of orange juice slide out on a tray, and then goes to do some pull-ups while checking in on the football team he owns in Wales.
All right, awesome. Okay, so you have a time. It's in the evening the next day. So I want to know how people spend their day in Cascade, either preparing or what kind of business they might take care of in the intervening time. And we'll go with Ian first. Ian, how do you pronounce that? Sorry,
Ian.
Ian. God, I'm gonna try and not fuck that up anymore.
That's all right. I put the extra I in there to try to throw off an assumption of Ian there.
Ah, gotcha.
Twin
It's-
ion engine, that kind of ion.
No, it's tribute to
Mythic Quest.
yes, to Mythic Quest.
I
Rob
l-
McElhenney's character.
I
Actually,
l-
it's
I love
Ian
that.
and Lee. So Ian Grimm and Poppy Lee.
Awesome.
So
Like, do you
he-
do any preparations or take
Mhm.
care of other business in the intervening day?
he's going to, I guess, look into the area where they're supposed to meet. Just get a better idea of what to expect. What kind of where is it in Cascade? What kind of neighborhood is it? What sort of like what should he expect going in there?
Okay.
But then also, oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a humanities roll to kind of like look up into the area and see what kind of stuff goes on there and become familiar with the area.
Can I make a culture roll instead?
Yeah, I mean that'll flavor some of the information that you get.
Sure.
But you can make a culture roll for that.
Good. I don't have any humanities.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so we're switching over to the real world character sheets right now.
intellect, I guess.
Yeah, you can use intellect.
Intellect it is.
I really like the anima character sheets. Are kind of like ephemerals and what's the other thing? Dream forms in Chronicles of Darkness.
Kind of, yeah.
What's a 10 do again?
10 explodes. You re-roll it.
Okay, cool. So I got 2 10s and an 8.
Okay, fantastic. So
And then
the
one
area
more
that
8.
you're so you do some looking up. The area that you have is kind of an industrial area, where a lot of material manufacturers like building like the 3D printers that are starting to come into vogue, that starts to mass create things. Its culture is pretty blue collar. There's a lot of second-class citizens that live in this area, even some non-citizens that live in the area. The building in specific, there's you find a lot of like, I got the shit kicked out of me because I got too close to this building. There's private security and sometimes even cops, like all over that place. No one seems to know what it's for, but you'll just like get tased for no reason if you cross the wrong person there, and nothing bad ever happens to the people who commit massive civil rights violations. So it's a pretty, like, the people in that area are pretty spooked by that place. And if you I'll say if you want to get ask a question to get
Sure.
further detail, you can.
Question like just is there?
Yeah.
Would be gonna do. Is there any chatter on sort of hacker and anarchist channels about the FSA making any sort of alarms or putting up any sort of alarms right now based on what we did? Oh, sorry, about the area.
About the area.
Yeah. Okay, so switch that around to is there any chatter on there about FSA interest in that area?
Yeah, I mean the assumption like that your groups is that the FSA probably has something to do with it, but like it's buried in so many layers of corporate legalese and defense. Like on paper, it's owned by some minor corporation that does like manufacturing R&D for some aspect of Cascade infrastructure, but the way corporations and the military and the government are all intertwined in the FSA, and given the presence of like jackbooted thugs that will just like for literally no reason beat people up if they're like looking at the place wrong, they kind of assume that the FSA has a direct interest in the place.
Okay.
Anything else? Any other preparations or sort of just general other business that you accomplish in the intervening time?
pop back onto TerraSurge to tag and grief a few FSA drone types.
Bot account. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it's satisfying. They don't know how to play this fucking game. All right, we'll move over to Romeo. What does Romeo accomplish or prepare, or just fuck around in the day that they have?
Well, Romeo is gonna update his glass, but also jailbreak it. I do have the 2 dots of glass for that. As a second class citizen, I don't want to be tracked again.
Okay.
I know it's illegal, but hey, what do you do to survive? And I'll probably be going on some sort of online jobs board for like teaching people how to play various games for like $10 an hour or something. Trying to.
Oh, you have a gamer Fiverr.
Yeah.
Oh, that's depressing.
Like the people who who go and teach people how to play Stardew Valley.
Oh, that hurts. Okay. Do you do any preparations for the mission or anything like that? Jailbreaking your thing.
Not that I can think of. The money I'm hoping is gonna help me get to travel or something, because I did see there's a limit on travel in the city.
Yeah, you definitely are gonna have to make. I mean, we can kind of hand wave that, now that you've done this first bit, you do get kind of like a money transfer from like a dummy account from the Aeon Covenant, that gives you enough walking around money that you could actually like buy some stuff
and walk around.
And be able to walk around without getting tagged by a drone.
I'll probably. How hard is it to get a gun?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Can we just say I have a pistol or something?
Yeah, you can get your way on with a pistol. It kind of takes up most of like the seed money that you just got because you're a second-class citizen. If you were a first-class citizen, you could just go to the rich people gun store and buy your way past the laws that poor people have to obey.
I love this so much. I legit do love like the having to go uphill to get all this.
Yeah, to get basic equality. Because the Second Amendment is in full effect if you can pay for it.
Yeah.
And what about Roxy? And what does Roxy do in preparation or general time spending in the day?
Well, Roxy is a first-class citizen. I do really love this everyone's equally able to sleep under a bridge kind of thing. Level of equality in the system is quite cute. Roxy, I think, is going to do a little bit of penetration testing. But the in-person kind, this is what she does. So she is going to get a very fancy cup of coffee and go straight up, just go like walk to the building, like not in it, but just sort of like stroll around and like be talking to random people on her glass, blarping around as if she's some total doofus. She has a gift which is maybe beneficial here, which is called I'm on the list. So she very much looks like she's where she's supposed to be. There's a complication of her presence, which is 3 to like tell her that she's not supposed to be here. And she's just sort of going to scout out the area, get a feel for things, talk to the security guards around about like the weather and random stuff, and see what kind of information she can get out of them.
Okay, noted. So yeah, that gift, with that gift, you are able to get farther into the facility than
Yeah, she's not gonna go like super far in. She's poking the outside edges, talk to the security guards, shoot the shit, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like you just sort of breezed past like some layers of security, which includes like the other side of the street where people who linger too long get the absolute crap kicked out of you. So you just sort of like breezed your way through that, and you're talking with a security guard that you definitely shouldn't be talking to. And go ahead and give me a persuasion roll to see if you can exploit this situation.
Can I do this with manipulation?
Absolutely, you can.
My roll. I have at least 110. See if this improves. Okay, I have 3. That did
3
improve.
successes. Awesome. Yeah, so you're talking with this security guard, and he's just kind of bamboozled by you. And like he's like kind of like every now and again, like he kind of like tries to
She just interjects with like
yeah.
building plan ideas and is like, if they tore down this wall over here, then you could really
Yeah, like he's trying to like ask you for identification, and you just kind of like bamboozle him.
sip coffee awkwardly, talk
what-
about the weather, see how he likes his job.
What?
No, is he a first-class citizen?
He stumbles his way into not answering that, which means he's a second
It's
class
so
citizen.
good that they're employing second-class citizens. Oh, I love this company.
What?
So progressive.
What piece of information would you like to extract from this poor sap?
Mostly just sort of like how tight the security is. Like the idea of like, is this a ministerial type of situation? Is it lightly guarded? Is there a lot of security staff here? Is probably the overall piece of information.
He kind of says like, yeah, he says that there is security staff here. Obviously, he's one of them. But like the thing that he kind of lets slip is that even he doesn't want to tangle with the robotic security that they've got in like the actual production level, like that he doesn't have clearance to get into.
She hates that stuff. It's so inhuman. You really need to have a personal touch, and she's just openly flirting and being a complete doofus. This whole time.
He is putty. He is putty in your hands. And he just like goes on about how his like one of his coworkers like lost an arm because he like dropped his wedding ring and like went into a place.
Insert backup plan, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm from the union. No.
Like yeah, his
I love
buddy, like,
combat.
lost, and one of the robots just like cauterized, like seared it off, and put its boot on his neck and waited for someone to come and get him.
On-site healthcare. Oh, I'm so impressed. Every day, I'm also out of coffee. Well,
Okay.
lovely talking to you. Just go click clack her way out.
All right, absolutely fantastic. Okay. Any other preparation or just general living your life you want to accomplish?
Now just vibing. She'll
Just
get to know the
vibing,
local
okay.
cafes. She's got to
Fantastic.
prep somewhere.
All right. So, unless anyone else has any ideas about something they'd like to do before the meeting,
Any like does gear count? Like if I want to.
yeah. If you want to try and accomplish a gear, what
Do
would
we-
you like to try and get?
How well do we know each other outside of this?
I would say probably Romeo and Ian know each other through the Ghost Wolves.
Okay.
You probably don't know Roxy very well because she's not a part of your society.
Are you second class citizen too, Ian?
Me? No.
Damn it.
Oh no, I paid for it.
Oh, that answer.
Oh, the heartache.
He's his heart's in the right place, but he very much has that like, is Batman part of the problem kind of, or are we the one doing this kind of thing going on?
Love it.
This is how I afford beer, people. I ask for money from Ian.
Well, I was gonna say, do you want me to buy you a gun?
Yes, please. Please, sir, can I have some ammo?
So you get that glass text of firearm, please, K, thanks. Yeah, I mean, he is it fair with wealth and first class
much-
isn't that
How much wealth do you have?
Oh well, before this we realized that we might have a couple more edge points, I think, right?
Oh,
Was that true,
uh,
or am I off? Because then I was gonna change that.
If you got second
yeah.
class,
Go ahead and change and get those extra edge points. That's
Okay.
fine.
So in that case, I would have put wealth at 3.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely, no problem. You can with your first class citizenship, you're able to get probably guns for everybody.
Guns around.
With
Yeah.
wealth too, could Roxy have just a very small pistol and a stun gun?
Yeah,
I'll bring the
you-
gym
you-
bag.
yeah. You probably would have had to save for it because they make weapons expensive here. But yeah,
And then a stun baton for himself.
sure, absolutely, no
Okay.
problem.
Don't use guns.
I don't use melee. I only use guns.
Fair enough.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
So-
So, unless we have anything else, we'll fast forward to the meeting point, where you are meeting in the same neighborhood as the location.
I can recommend a really nice cafe.
You can. Unfortunately, it is not that really nice cafe.
No.
You were given directions to kind of like go down this like very circuitous like pattern of alleys to basically a garage that is unlit. Like you get to an area where like there's no street lights. It's actually fairly dark. And your glass detection starts giving you like danger warnings. This is an under secured area. Please, citizen, please redirect yourself to a more safe area of the city. And
This class won't stop me. I can't read.
Oh,
Didn't you know what we were signing up? You were signing up for?
Yes.
No, I'm not familiar with money here. But eventually, like, presuming you guys do not turn around, eventually there is kind of like a glitch over those messages, and like those messages stop transmitting, and you get up to the sort of the pretty small kind of garage area in like 3 alleys deep in this maze of buildings, where you are met by Machno, who Roxy you have met before, but the other two have not. He is a middle-aged man, getting up there, maybe close to 50s. Pretty large, pretty hefty. Just a ridiculous beard, like Russian madman beard. He is wearing kind of like these green visor goggles over his head, and like you can see him like he like pays attention to them every now and often. Some sort of like non-glass view display. He's wearing a very loud, like very like futuristic looking Hawaiian shirt. And he is like tinkering with a couple of like really old looking what you assume are computers and machines, that like aren't fully optimized and have like weird display screens that are way too big, like maybe something from like the 2080s or something. No, not the 2080s, like the 2040s kind of thing. And like he sees you all kind of come in. I'm assuming you guys like met up with each other when you were trying to like find this place, and says, "Good, you made it. Did the surveillance blocker work on all of you?"
You mean I didn't? You mean I didn't have to crack my glass?
You should absolutely crack your glass every single opportunity that you can. It's going to update like probably in the next few days. But yeah, no, that was a smart move. I have I've got a sort of a blocker signal going around this place, so we can actually like do business and shit.
Okay.
I just want to say you two look exactly like how I imagined based on your animas.
I'm not sure if I should take that as a compliment or not.
My anima doesn't have a face.
My anima is a bug, and I'm a very attractive man.
Okay, so
Machno just kind
you
of
don't
like
have to say it out loud.
but I was like, okay, I like the confidence. Anyway, so I saw that you guys got the data key. Do you think that you were detected or anything like that? You weren't streaming, were you?
I'll only at the parts that are around the stuff to sell the job, sell the deaths, and to explain why I was in the underworld. I found a quest and I got it.
Cool. I don't mean to bust your balls about it, but
we might have been a little bit spotted in the underworld.
Okay. All right. I'll run some back scans on that. Make sure that we're not too exposed there. But like I said, I don't mean to bust your balls about things, but I cannot count the number of times I've worked with someone on a secret spy mission and they fucking streamed it.
I mean,
Like,
we need to get followers,
That's
man.
hilarious.
Like I've got bills to pay.
It's that content
I
grind.
pay your bills.
The look he gives you is like beyond disappointment.
Hey, I have 1 penny and I had to help people with Farm Simulator 2045 or whatever to get $5 to get a train ticket.
All right, man, I get it. It's just like you're kind of like this is kind of big league stuff. Like we're taking on the government.
I mean, so are you saying that I can't do this because I'm a second-class citizen?
Motherfucker, I'm a second class
Are
citizen.
you-
I'm not saying that.
I mean, you got some big britches coming from what's your group again?
You kind of like
You
Yeah,
corporate,
okay.
man? A little bit corporate.
excuse me. No.
But most of us aren't that corporate. I'm just like this.
I'm like pointing to her. I mean, I'm sorry.
She's got a look. She's got a great record, and no, the Aeon Covenant is not a corporate entity. I wouldn't work with a corporate entity.
Okay.
Some of us just have to work with corporate entities. Well,
Okay, I'll let it pass. I'm just
I
saying.
don't agree with how subtle and not forceful they are with dealing with the fascist oligarchy that we have to put up with here. But their heart is in the right place, and I believe they're the best method of overcoming all this bullshit. God, I mean, if we're still dealing with the FSA in another 20, 30 years, maybe I'll be with you on
I'm gonna need a new
that.
skincare routine by then. Goodness. Speaking of dealing with the FSA, so it sounds like they have some sort of android, robot, mechanical security system. Otherwise, they have a bunch of very demotivated security guards. Just saying.
All right. Well, yeah, you guys are definitely going to want to avoid that. I'm going to be.
I heard a whole grotesque story about someone's arm being cut off and then seared back together, and then the robot security guard stepped on his neck, but he was like a staff member, so they seem a little bit flaky.
Flaky. Yeah, that's one way to put it.
If only OSHA still existed.
It's like I'll be running interference through the opnet from here. So if you guys can maybe get access to like the control unit of those robots, I can try and help out then that way. Otherwise, you guys are gonna have to dance your way around those things. But okay, let me hit you with some more details. We've got 3 objectives that I want you guys to try and accomplish. And he like goes to like this like wall safe that has a palm lock on it, and he says, and he opens it and he pulls out this like kind of like oversized beer can looking cylinder that looks like it's like completely solid, like it doesn't have anything in the way of like ports or entry or transmitters or anything. It just looked like a solid chunk of like very dark metal.
Hmm.
And he says, I'm gonna need one of you to take custody of this. We're gonna pull a switcheroo. There's something a lot like this in their storage units. I'm gonna need you to take this in there and switch it out for what they got in there. It's try and make it look like the thing we're taking isn't the thing that we're that hasn't been swapped. This is some pretty dense data technology, and we're going to be taking the same thing out. So that's the first 2 objectives. Get the thing in there, switch it with this. The third's a little bit more optional, but I can guarantee a hefty bonus if you're able to accomplish it.
I'll take the device or whatever this thing is.
Sounds good.
Yeah, he hands it over to you and says, "You need to be real careful with that. That's some high grade shit."
I carefully place it on the floor.
It's gonna switch background
It
images.
can't fall off the floor.
Yeah, no, don't drop it.
I need to carry it though.
I'll put it in my backpack. It's fine.
The third option is that the third objective optional, but like I said, there'll be a hefty bonus. I have some contacts in other areas of the Covenant who believe that they're also storing something a bit more esoteric there. It's an old goat skull. Yeah, not sure why, but apparently there's some sort of interest, and they've tracked it to this facility. It's from the old Polyphemus branch. Has some sort of weird energetic resonance with it. So if you can get your hands on that, enough money to maybe get you into a better life, Romeo. And the other two, you guys are doing fine, but money's money.
Classes, pizza.
You're both the same class.
He's flaunting
legally, and it's made up. The points don't matter.
I mean, so are you living in a one-room apartment that's practically like 100 feet in square footage?
If
No.
anyone would like to make an empathy roll, to see if good our friend Machno is might be concealing something.
You know what? Sure.
Cunning plus empathy?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it with intellect. Oh. I have 3.
I got 1 success.
Did you make that roll?
I mean, I could, but I haven't.
Okay.
Empathy.
All right, that's fine.
Sounds like a true.
It's a good sentence.
So, Romeo, you're pretty sure that he's not saying a lot about this entire situation. You can't really pin down anything specific. Roxy, yeah, he's trying to play off this goat skull thing like he's doing a favor for somebody else. You're pretty sure he has an intense personal interest in it.
Okay. So what kind of a bonus are we talking about for the goat skull that I would only ever touch with very thick gloves? Just saying. Just seem particularly interested in it. Is it for the Covenant or is it something else?
He says, like I said, I have some friends in the old Polyphemus division who are interested in it. And like that seems to be, to you, that seems to be like a canned excuse that he's saying. If you'd like to try and roll persuasion to try and tease anything, get beyond that facade.
Yeah, let's do that. Just pretty direct and straightforward. So
Okay.
I don't think we're trying any manipulation here. So maybe just presence.
Sure.
Or composure. It's the same role, but it's more fun to say. Oh, wait till live a couple more days. I have nothing.
Yeah, he just stonewalls you. He like sort of like, says, I don't know how many times I have to say this. It's for some old Polyphemus hacks. They want it for whatever weirdo reason they want it. All right, you guys.
This is my believing you face.
Good. Very trustworthy.
But understandable.
Anyway, so in terms of money, 10,000 yuan, if you get the goat skull, and in addition to the 5,000, I'll be giving to each of you. That's a per. I can move some money around to make that happen. That is a decent amount of money.
If you would like, I'm open to equitability rate adjustments, Romeo. But we can sort that out later.
All right. Any questions?
If you're truly suffering, you deserve not to be.
Any questions before we get this thing started?
Oh no. Although you two can deal with fighting and technology, right?
I can deal with technology to a point. I mean, I've got some sort of tips and tricks, but honestly, if I'm doing technology with outside of those little tips and tricks, I'm useless. I'm a
know
streamer.
Great. Please don't stream this.
The revolution will be streamed and monetized.
Oh, goodness. I wonder if that would work.
Which suck
You know,
company
it would work for
represents.
probably maybe a week, and then they throw you into a hole that they will then promptly forget about.
Yeah. FSA will have shirts for it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm pretty confident in you guys' ability to get this shit done. Like I said, I'm going to be running interference, so let's say we get this party started.
Well, G2, do you want to plan our approach? I'm pretty okay at, I guess you could say, hacking people.
But we will
Except this dork.
We will get that party started after a short break. All right, welcome back to Trinity Continuum ANIMA, and we now actually have a name for the game. This is Saga of the Goat Part 1.
Saga of the Goat?
Greatest of all time.
Greatest
Here,
of all
I was
time,
gonna say,
yeah.
I was hoping for a total party, like, kill maybe, probably.
We'll see,
You know,
we'll
just
see.
for fun.
But yeah, so
for me,
you
of
guys
course.
have been dispatched from the secret garage enclave of your totally trustworthy Aeon Covenant fixer, who would never do you wrong, and are
Just like
free
just like a 1.5 class person would say.
Yeah, indeed. 2.5. But yeah, so you guys know where you're headed out. You've got these data keys that should grant you access into the building. Although, you know, there are other layers of security that you might have to overcome. What is your guys' plan? How are you approaching getting into this nondescript but totally security stacked building in the middle of this industrial section of Cascade?
I would like to get a uniform or something because I'm not gonna fit in with management or anything. I just want a sort of a disguise ready.
I might be able to pull that off, depending where they store the uniforms.
Good.
I guess I could just take one off someone, but that feels unseemly.
It is nighttime now, so you know it is less people on the streets. As you guys kind of like vaguely approach, you do see like, you know, there are guards / maybe cops. It's hard to tell the difference sometimes. That kind of like walk around the perimeter of the building.
Oh, I've got forgettable. I could sneak in as saying I just need to do some extra work overtime or something.
That's a thing you could try.
Mm-hmm.
They would just assume I'm a worker.
If you want to try that, assuming you're gonna try, Roxy's gonna try pretty much the same tactic she tried last time.
Maybe. Sort of debating with these two what their plan is.
Yeah, what's y'all's
Because
plan?
she could certainly only get so far in before she's going to come up against automated security, and she can't do anything about that. And also getting you two in at the same time could be challenging.
Well, I think I've got my avenue of entry.
So are you all gonna like try and get in separately to like try and not arouse the suspicion of like three unfamiliar people trying to get into a building at the same time, or what's everyone's plan?
Is there a skylight?
I don't know. Is there a skylight?
Are there gargoyles on the sides of the interior?
I feel like I just got blindsided by that sentence.
If you would like to spend a point of inspiration to say that yes, there is in fact a skylight, you can do so.
My athletics isn't that high, so I'm gonna put that on the back burner.
Right.
As a bit of in character
athletics.
meta gaming, I'm gonna say, should we really be splitting the party?
No, probably not.
But it
How many rest of
does.
you Skylight entry?
If we can get you two uniforms, I might be able to bullshit my way through. And then if it goes horribly wrong, at least I can hide behind you.
I can bullshit too.
I like the uniform
that's good.
idea.
I just bullshit in a lower class way.
I mean, that's probably more effective in many ways.
Mm. Why do you think I'm able to get money from this guy every week? I point to Ian.
Oh, I just assumed it was some kind of like an ongoing relationship, like a patron kind of thing, not like anything unseemly, unless it is. But it's not really don't worry about it.
It's kind of a toxic mooching situation.
A toxic mooching situation, legally distinct from a toxic smooching situation. I understand.
Very much. There's just
involved.
very little S.
I will offer up if anyone wants to spend 2 inspiration to say that like around the corner is a guy who like lives in his car but works in this place and like has a couple of clean uniforms.
I mean, we
readily
can also
available.
just steal uniforms from random cops, like the ones that are patrolling here. If
I
we feel particularly
encourage you to
confident
do
about
that. That sounds fun.
We want to
fight some cops.
How much inspiration do we spend?
Is that 2?
Yeah, two inspirations will have a conveniently unlocked car with like 3 or 4 clean uniforms.
This is a new scene, right? So I can reset my inspiration.
Yep.
How about I spend 1 inspiration and someone else spends 1 inspiration?
Sure, why not?
Sure, Roxy's happy to do so.
Okay.
You're inspiring.
We'll find a guy's car is unlocked and he's sleeping in and just sneak in and steal his boiler suit or whatever.
Yeah, he's
Can
like
it just be like the same dude that she was chatting up last night?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like let slip that he actually just sleeps outside. She's like, oh wait a minute, Greg.
Yeah, he's
It's
got
like right there.
He's like
his name tag says George.
He's logged into Glass, so he's totally out of it. But yeah, you guys are able to actually someone give me a quick larceny roll to make off with these uniforms.
I think I have the highest larceny.
Almost certainly.
I have dexterity 4, larceny 1.
All right.
I thought about taking larceny and I was like, nah.
Well,
Someone else can open the door.
I actually assumed someone else did have it.
I have it, but only at 1 as well, so as good as you are at it.
I got 1 success.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, this guy's totally zoned out on Glass. You're able to sneak into his car, pull out a couple of uniforms.
Opioid
These
at the
uniforms
mask.
don't have names on them. Like they have just like barcodes on them. But like you guys are able to with that security key, you can like hack into it and like change the barcode because it's like a digital display panel on it, not a like printed on it.
Cool.
So that's like one like you're able to like access the ambient Wi-Fi with it and like make little changes like that. So yeah, you guys have 3 workers uniforms for this facility, which will no doubt make walking up to it or otherwise getting into it much easier. How do you guys approach that?
I mean,
Well, we could just walk up.
Or
In uniform.
Roxy, are you going to be in uniform as well?
I'm trying to decide what's best in order to bullshit my way through. I guess I can always put it over the suit. This looks a little bit loose, right?
Yeah, it's just a boiler suit. You just go over your clothes.
It's like the opposite of glamping.
I have no idea what that is. It sounds like
Don't worry about it.
It sounds like something only rich people do.
Hey, I'm ex-rich, to be fair.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And how much food is in your fridge?
I mean, and I'm like, okay, comparatively, sure.
Didn't I take you grocery shopping just the other day?
I mean, That's not the point. The point is I have like a few beers left. Speaking of, can I get a little?
You're about to get paid for the mission.
I have to pay for my streaming rates.
It does an automatic, does a electronic transmission.
Thank you.
Wait, you're
Alright.
streaming rights to do what?
Or services rendered.
Music costs a lot now.
That's true. Yeah.
And then
So the three of you are going up in uniform to just like kind of walk in like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah, Roxy's gonna do her best to look vaguely like an employee.
All right. Let's go with a group persuasion roll to BS your way past, and any applicable gifts should be
Sounds
applied
good.
at this point.
So I don't know if I'm on the list applies to anyone with me.
Unless it specifically says it does, then
Yeah, Trinity Cyclops definitely seems like somebody who belongs. She knows how to walk and talk like somebody who takes no guff from security and clearly ought to be where the action is. People rarely challenge her right to be anywhere, and folks just seem to know her wherever she goes. Maybe she has that kind of face.
is
So
that
the
a
system is security, persons, party goers, and others, exclusive areas of a complication. Not ever provide passwords, key cards, and signs belonging. It doesn't say anything about other people, so yeah, I think it only applies to her.
yeah? So you're pretty certain, especially with this uniform and the data key, that you can literally just walk right in, and you are able to do so. But the other two are going to have to.
What if she were to bullshit on their behalf?
I mean, that is what this group persuasion roll probably would accomplish.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, group.
So how does a group roll work?
You just basically all roll it, and I take it into account.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so presence and
you can do
persuasion.
I'm gonna do manipulation as is tradition.
I'm missing one die. Where the hell did that go?
That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is that be manipulation? Could I use cunning?
You can use cunning.
I'm going to be
I have
cunning
2.
about this.
Double tens! Awesome!
I rolled 2 10s and neither of them turned into anything. So those are my only successes.
Oh no! Wait,
4
hold on.
successes!
What's the,
Oh my goodness, let's go.
we don't subtract ones.
We do not subtract one.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, I got one success.
One success. All right. So with a combination of gifts and those rolls, yeah, you guys are basically able to like show up for your shift. Like they confirm you against the data keys, and you are able to get into kind of the first level of the building, which is kind of like the administrative and worker lounge area. There's a couple of like cube farms, for non-production personnel. But you know where you need to go is in the production level, and there's like this big like super thick glass and metal door that has like all sorts of like warnings, and you'll void your contract. Also, we can just kill you if you come back this place, and your family will be in debt forever.
Yeah. If you give this place a bad Glassdoor review, immediate execution.
I'm gonna look for a security terminal or something somewhere that I can try and get the security cameras to be on a loop or something.
Okay, yeah, I mean you can get into one of like the
Yeah.
dozen or so cubes and try and gain access to the security system through the terminals here.
Okay. I've got elite hacker and hacking skills. Where's elite hacker? One of the things I have is I can hack I can spend momentum to have an action to hack into any non-talent created computer system automatically succeed without a roll.
Okay, so that's a skill trick that you have.
That's a skill trick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to spend that momentum, you can just 90s movie hacking on a keyboard for about 30 seconds and then take off your sunglasses and say, I'm in.
I'm in.
There you go.
Bad at the voice.
So yeah, you're able to access the security system, and with not too many little tricks and tips there, you can set up those security cameras on a loop.
Yeah, awesome. And we haven't regained any momentum, right?
No, not as of yet. You need to fuck up to do that.
I mean, we did earlier, but we're at momentum 2 now.
I think you're at momentum 2.
I have a sneaking suspicion we'll have many opportunities to screw up shortly.
I tried to specifically unoptimize this character after my last one was too optimized.
So yes, you've got those security systems on a loop, and do not seem to have roused any suspicion for have doing so.
Okay, we're in, guys, and gals, guy and gal.
You're included too.
Okay, we're in it, guys, including myself. Good job, myself.
Oh, hey, self-confidence. Look at you moving up in the world.
You still have a very secure door with which you need to get to, or somehow otherwise get into the production area.
Is there anything electronic keypad and whatnot, or?
Yeah, there is like a electronic keypad with badge access that your data keys do not give you access to.
I assume technology would allow me to tinker with stuff. So,
yes, you can go ahead and do a technology roll to try and circumvent that keypad. I also need someone to make a larceny roll to provide cover for this action.
I will do so with my 5 dice of larceny. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, yeah. So you're able to like, how do you provide cover for him going up and just super not doing what he's not supposed to be doing?
I do one of the most annoying things, and I go into the fridge of the refrigerator and start to microwave some fish.
You bastard.
I don't know if I can work with you anymore.
So are there other staff like wandering around the area that we're in right now?
It's late at night, so there's kind of a skeleton crew. Like there's like 3 other cubicles that are lit up, and like there's a regular like internal security patrol. But within a few moments, one of those security guards comes into the break room, and like just starts yelling at you. Like, and it's the kind of yelling that like within a few moments you realize that this is just his opportunity to unload all of his stress and like his own things. So like you're pretty sure that if you just sit there and take it meekly, he won't actually like do anything to you, but you're just buying time for your buddy to hack into that door. It's just you're gonna have to eat shit for a little bit from this really put upon security guy.
Does it look
does the put upon security guy look like he would have a badge for this door?
Maybe. I mean, he definitely has some, like, you know that the security guard you talked to earlier didn't have a badge for the door. So you're not sure what this guy's access is.
Right, okay.
But speaking of which, what is Roxy doing while this maneuver is undergoing?
Oh, mostly just trying to be a little bit unnoticed, fit in, take in the scene, trying to sort of get a mental map of the people in the space. So maybe like wander around with a cup of tea or something and see who's there and give them that like working hard or hardly working kind of nod thing.
Nice.
Just who wanders around.
Give me
just a lay of the space.
Cool. Give me an empathy roll to just put out the vibe that will allow you to do that without
Yeah. I think not being particularly manipulative.
Okay.
So let's just use cunning. Presence, sorry. Same pool anyways. I have 3.
Okay, yeah, you're able to massage the vibe enough so that people aren't suspicious of that, and you start getting some of the exit doors and other potential access.
I mean, she'll make people tea.
Nice.
As well.
What did you get on that technology roll, Ian?
I got
2 successes. Okay. It's pretty difficult. You definitely think you're going to have to work on this a little bit more, which means that your companions are going to have to continue to cover you in some way. So the security guard who like has finished, like he just kind of like yells himself out, and just is like, "Don't fucking do it again. I gotta go patrol." And he like turns around and starts to walk in the direction of Ian.
Quick question.
Mhm.
I have engineer's eye,
Mhm.
and that if I spend momentum, what is it? It adds 1 to the scale of trying to destroy a vehicle or machine or something like that. Is that too far in this case? Would that be like actually blowing the thing? And
Yeah, if you like, if it's about like destroying something or something like that, would probably that might get the job done, but that will come with its own consequences.
sure. Okay, I'll trust on my allies to keep this guy out of my hair.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So Romero, you see this guard like spend himself out, and he has like got his like resuming his patrol, which will quickly take him up to that security door.
So Roxy has an idea, but Bunny wants to check in really quick first, just vibes wise. Corbin, are you okay if I say something in character mean about your character?
Oh, totally.
Okay. And are y'all okay if we like fake attempt to seduce a guard?
Fine with me.
Okay, awesome. Then the plan is to walk up and do one of those like, oh my goodness, you big strong man, you really told that pathetic little whiny boy off. Thank you so much. You've saved my delicate little nostrils. You're so strong.
Give me a
Be
persuasion
really
roll.
distracting. Yeah, this one's definitely manipulation.
Yeah.
I wanted that security guard.
Oh no, I only have 1 so far.
Oh no,
Okay,
it's an
I
anime
have
love
2.
triangle.
I have 2.
Senpai, notice me!
An anima love triangle.
I mean, I am devilishly good looking, and I have
As
light
you
up
took.
tattoos.
I know. All right, so sorry, total of 2.
Total of 2. Okay. Yeah, he like it. This guy's like so put upon. Like he just had this little moment of catharsis, and like you just intersect him at the exact right moment to like boost his confidence up, and like he becomes putty in your arms. He just the it's like, you know, being shown a moments of like attention and affection, when, you know, in this world where you really have to scrap for any kind of positive social interaction, just seems to like disarm him instantly, and he just kind of like stutters and mumbles and just kind of wants to keep talking to you and like keep
Oh,
hearing you.
she's happy to just keep talking for as long as it's specifically needed.
Yeah, it's almost like the system
Before she's
wears
late on her
down.
TPS reports.
Yeah, it's almost like the system wears down even those that enforce it, because fascism is a cancer on our society.
It's true.
So did you make another technology roll to get in?
About to. That is another 2.
Okay, yeah, you're able to get that done. You bypass the security lock. You kind of like make it accept your data key, and the little light goes bing, and the door slides open.
We're
Which
in.
which you can absolutely get in, but your compatriots are off doing other things. You can like absolutely through your glass like send them a message, the "I'm in" message. So Romeo can probably definitely extract himself pretty easily from the break room, but Roxy, you have a very attention-starved security guard.
Yeah, this will take a little bit of
What-
delicate care to maneuver out of.
What type of door? What type of lock is on this door? Is it like a? Is it a? There goes a die. Is it like a magnetic lock? Is
Yeah,
it?
It's like a super magnet lock, like electromagnetic lock.
Oh, god damn. Okay.
But you can get there in time. It's just like you know, like Ian is able to hold the door open, and Romeo like comes around the corner and sees that he can get in, but like, where's Roxy?
Do you need a distraction, Roxy?
Is there another way I can get in, or could you just open the door for me in a couple minutes?
We don't know what's on the other. We don't know what's on the other side, but sure. You can try.
Valid. I'll try to head over there.
Okay.
Okay. This guy's going to need a command roll to kind of shut him down, and get him to leave you alone.
That makes a lot of sense. She's not actually very good at commanding people. So we'll see how that goes. We're going with manipulation again here. How would you approach this? I mean, probably do one of those like, my boyfriend works here and he'd be really upset if he saw me talking to you, so I should step away for now, but what's your number? And just shyly shuffle away towards the door.
Oh God, it's the meme of the girl shouting daggers into the guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
I have one. Can I do momentum things?
You can spend a momentum to try and get more.
Yeah, how y'all feel about that?
Knock yourself out.
I still have one.
Okay. So yeah, you are able to rebuff him, but he is able to kind of like pathetic wounded animal his way into getting your number.
Oh, that's fine.
Complication.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so you're able to get yourself away, and before anyone notices, you're able to open the door from the other side and let her in, and you guys have gained access to the production area.
How
I
big?
think I need to date that man now, at least once. This is gonna be awkward.
How big is the? I look to Roxy. I'm like, how? I'm looking at how big the device is, but then I'm looking at her, and I'm like, how are you going to explain the fact that you don't work here?
No, I'm not.
Oh God, relationships built on lies.
A very brief one. I have a stun gun.
All right. So, so the area that you guys get into immediately is kind of like a catwalk area that kind of is on the upper layer of a recessed floor, where there is a series of prototype 3D print industrial scale 3D printers that are in the process of being constructed. There's a couple that are like operating in test mode. It looks like it's kind of a skunk works area where they're like really working on these prototype printers. And you guys are able to this area is like totally unlit right now. Like there's only like security lighting. And in the darkness from your guys' position, you are able to see like the regular mechanical movement of like shadowed figures moving in like meticulously efficient patrol pattern down on that level.
I should have stayed in the other room.
This will be where I get to use that destructive stuff.
So at the moment, you guys are like up on the catwalk and not in direct line of sight of any of these automated security drones. But how are you guys approaching this particular problem?
Automated security drones.
Can we draw their attention away? Chuck a rock?
Probably can't seduce one.
Can we use an EMP? Anyone carrying one of those?
I didn't take. I don't think so. I look at the device that we're supposed to be swapping out. Like, how big is it?
Like I said, it's like it's like an Australian beer can.
Okay, so it's pretty it's small enough that.
Yeah, it's
okay. I'm trying to think if I have anything that can help right now, because I do have hacker skill. What's hacker skills? Oh, hacker skills doesn't actually help. I have expert hacker, but I think I used up its charge.
I mean, you can continue to use that, but it just costs momentum.
Oh yeah, it
But
does
you're
cost
pretty sure
momentum.
that you're pretty sure that these things are pretty advanced.
Yeah.
So there may be some that might not be the I win button. Plus, you'll have to like find some way of getting access to them.
Well, as an expert hacker, I decided that the best thing to do was to have technology 0. So.
Well, hacking goes off enigmas.
Oh, that is true. I mean, my enigmas is 3.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of enigmas.
What did I just do then?
Well, you are actually like interacting with the you're
tech itself.
physically circumventing the keypad.
The electronics and stuff like that.
Well, at least I have some enigmas, but
Oh, I do.
Disastrous.
Yeah, I have 3 enigma and 2 intellect. I could
I
do.
also have 3 enigma.
So you guys do have a pretty powerful you all have like a pretty powerful supercomputer basically in your skulls. You could attempt to hack into their like wireless control systems, but there will be a significant complication. That'll be a 2 difficulty roll with a 2 complication of essentially triggering like a feedback loop within your own glass as you're like really trying to push it beyond its measure. Or you can like you're pretty sure like there's a control terminal, but it doesn't look like there's anything like that on this level.
So I can do Enigma 6, and if I spend a momentum, I can remove 1 complication.
Okay. I think that'll spend all of your momentum.
Did we use momentum before?
Yeah, I just used one.
Oh, okay. I'll leave it to the group. Do we use it or not?
I'm good with you using it. Yeah.
It's there to be used.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we're about to get more. Maybe not this roll, but
All right, 6 die. Hello, hacking, my old friend. If I meet the complication, that means it still happens, right?
So you spend successes to overcome the complication. So to succeed on the roll and buy off the complication, you need 4 successes.
Okay. I bought off 1 complication with the spending the momentum, but I still got a complication.
Okay.
I got 1 success.
You got 1 success. So you are not able to buy off the complication because you need to spend 2 successes to do so. So.
But I reduced the complication to 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you reduced the complication by 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you buying off the complication? Yeah. So you're spending that to not have the complication happen, right?
Yeah. I just don't know. I still need 1 success for it to still count as a success, right?
Yeah. You need to roll 1 success in order for that to happen.
No, I mean,
for anything.
Do I need to? So when I rolled 1 success, but there's still a complication 1, which means if I buy off the complication, I don't have any successes left.
Yes, you do not succeed on the roll,
Okay.
but you do not trigger the complication.
Okay.
So if you don't have enough successes, it sounds like you don't have enough successes to succeed on the roll anyway.
Yeah.
So basically, it becomes a wash essentially. You're able to avoid having your head fried a little bit, but you're not able to get into their control systems.
Man, they got some ice on this thing.
in champagne.
Ice. It's like a firewall, but it can fry your brain.
So what's next?
I'm sorry, I mansplained it. No.
It's okay. It's okay. At least you don't have a date with a security guard. Could be worse.
You know what? I would have, but you got to him first.
Yeah, I mean, we could trade numbers.
Speaking of which, you get a text asking if you have like a future Instagram or something.
We'll respond to that in the due time of like an hour from now. Oh, what's my snap? Future snap.
Yep.
Neo snap.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so what's the next plan to try and avoid these killbots?
Could we go over them?
I mean, you are in a catwalk area, but you're pretty sure you need to get down where they are to get into the vault area, the storage area where you're told that the thing that you're trying to switch out is.
Oh, I wonder where they're controlled from.
How many of them are there?
You watch for a little bit, and you see that there are 3 of them that are like sort of like moving in a like interlocking triangular pattern, covering the area.
Yeah, I'm interested where they're being controlled from, too.
You would imagine that there's a control panel somewhere down there. Like you do like a quick look around the area where you are, and you don't see anything that would be able to be capable of that.
Can I dramatically edit the scene?
Yeah, if you want to dramatic edit and say that, oh yeah, there's a control panel.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
One inspiration, 2?
Let's say 2 inspiration. That's a pretty consequential edit.
Yeah.
Since you're directly contradicting something I've said.
I should have got to it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Be quick on the draw before I establish truths. But yeah, there happens to be like you like do a pass around the area and you find like a suspicious looking panel, and you find like the backup control circuit. So yeah, you can do the same Enigma's roll to get into this, but there will be no complication on it because you're not trying to hack it with your brain.
Okay. Oh, I'm down there physically now?
No, you're not down there physically. There is a control now. Thanks to your editing of reality, there is a control panel up on the catwalk area.
Oh yes. Oh, sorry, I completely said that. Okay. Can I do Enigma's incoming?
Sure.
How lucky.
All right. Let's get some dice.
I like to imagine we're like observing them. We're leaning on the railing and just like, oh hey, is there just a panel behind this grate?
Huh. There didn't seem to be one before, but now there is.
2 successes.
Convenient.
2 successes. Yeah, that overcomes the difficulty, and you gain control access. How do you manipulate their program?
Oh. And this is the spot we're supposed to.
Yeah, you are certain that somewhere down there, probably in another off another corridor, is like the secure storage area. But you would definitely need to get past these robots to get to it.
Could we use the robots to get to it?
Probably. Like you can direct like one of them to go do that, but they have to. Your main objective is to do a switcheroo, so it would be fairly obvious if one of them were to like come up to you, grab a thing, like you like when you're in the system, you're constantly like swatting down like alerts like you are not on your assigned track. Please adjust course.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So like you get the feeling that doing something that obvious would probably gain attention.
But I just said it so that they don't actually pay attention to anything coming by. Yeah,
you sort of like set a timer. You're fairly certain at some point the automated like security system will set them back at right unless you're like actively on the console. But you can probably give yourselves about 10 minutes of time of them just sort of like in dummy mode.
All right. We have 10 minutes, people.
Okay. Let's do this.
You do first? No, it's fine. I trust you.
I have a additional thing that we might want to do in case they do think that someone did break in and steal and did something. I think our best bet might be to steal something on the way out.
Distract them from the
the
real.
From the switcheroni?
Steal a couple of those 3D printer parts.
We could just take a drone or your security guard.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys heading down to the production floor?
I think so.
Cool. All right, yeah. So
Are you saying we just steal the security guard? That would solve problems.
that's called kidnapping.
I don't believe it's
He's
anything
not a
else.
kid. He's an adult.
He can nap when he feels like it.
If he wants to
All right.
take a nap.
So yeah, you guys are able to get down to the production floor. You identify the right corridor to go down it says when you get to like the area, it says special projects is the door that you're having to get into. It's it's pretty easy for you guys working in tandem to like disengage the security locks and get into that room. And this room it has sort of a different vibe to it. The tech looks different in here. There's kind of it does not look like sort of like the standard sort of cascade aesthetic of technology. Once again, kind of like the machines in Machno's little garage hideaway. They look a little bit older. Yeah, so there's like a wall of basically like little cubby holes that are like electronically locked, and you're able to kind of like go through them with the clock ticking down until you find what you believe is the right one. Does anyone have any gifts that allow them to like sense weird energies or anything like that?
I have a gift that allows me to sense it's apex cunning oh no, wait a minute. There was a thing I have that I can basically just identify if there's like God damn it, what was it called?
You have Behold the Halo?
Mirrored sunglasses. Your character is automatically alerted when someone is following her with hostile intent.
Okay.
It does not reveal the location of hidden followers, though.
Right. That doesn't ping right now. Let's see. Go ahead and someone give me. Yeah. Go. Let's. What would be good for this? Somebody give me a science roll.
Who has science?
Roxy's got a dot, despite being Anne Covenant. She only has one dot. She's trying to learn the science, but can attempt science.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Maybe just intellect?
Yeah, intellect sounds about right.
What? Oh my gosh, I rolled 2 10s.
Oh,
And a
boy.
2 and a 7. Okay,
All right.
I rolled 2 10s. I have 2.
Yeah, you're looking at this tech and like, yeah, most of the tech in this room bears the hallmark of, Nova Age or aberrant age technology, which like some of that is okay in terms of the law, but this amount of it, you doubt all of this technology is like above the board in terms of like international law and like the very heavy restrictions on this kind of technology that were put in place after the Aberrant War. So you pretty much like in a moment confirm, oh yeah, they're dabbling in really nasty illegal black tech.
Yeah, so we'll say that. Now how do we get evidence of this?
Take some pictures.
Yeah, you can absolutely take some pictures.
Stream it.
Hey all, it's your boy Scott. Thumbs up and like if you if you're against having aberrant tech in a giant warehouse without any documentation.
Are you live streaming this? I need to know if this is a joke or not.
I need to confer with my party before I decide to live stream.
Let's do the rest of the mission first.
I'll
But also, you could
I'll-
record it and broadcast it later.
Yeah,
if you really want to.
I'm gonna
And
record
I'll
it.
just awkwardly stand where you can't record.
I'll record it and broadcast it later, possibly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you take
Here's
recordings of
another
it.
War Crimes Let's Play.
Yeah, and you're also able to identify where exactly you need to do the switcheroo.
Okay. I check for traps.
Okay, make a larceny or technology roll.
Do a larceny.
Have we encountered a goat head?
You do not. Yeah, well, yeah. And that's now that you asked that question, you do not see a goat skull anywhere in this area.
Suspiciously free of dead goats.
Okay. Dexterity larceny.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, frick. 2 successes.
Okay. There are some security measures that you're able to quickly circumvent and unlock the latches on a very. It's not exactly the same. It's not like a 1-for-1. If you were just sort of like cursory looking at it, it would look very similar. But like the fine details and some of the even though if you were to like look at both of these things for 5 minutes, you could tell that they're not exactly the same, but it would be really hard if you didn't have one to compare against the other. But yeah, you're able to find that, like, disengage the latches on that, and do you switch them out?
I do. Are there any modifications I can make to the device itself, the fake device, to make it look more like the real device?
That would require a technology roll.
Sadly, I am not a technological person. I'll look to Ian and say, hey, it's not a perfect 1-to-1. What do you think? Anything you can mod?
I could take a look.
Okay. I hand it to him.
All right. Cunning again. I'll sneakily try to
Sure.
make it look more like the actual thing.
Go ahead.
One success.
One success. Yeah, there's a couple of little modifications that you're able to make. You're not like, the differences are so minute that like you're not sure that you got all of them, but you think you've done as good a job as you can. And yeah, so after that, you guys unplug, replug in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you do, there's kind of like this pulse that like you go kind of like feel like it's not quite electric, but it does kind of like give you that sort of electric charge goosebumps. And there's a flash, like kind of a wave that goes across all the screens on this Nova Age tech in this room. If anyone would like to make a culture roll for me to try and pick up on some strange things in like this wave of data that goes across all the screens.
Sure.
What type? Intellect, cunning?
Cunning would probably be the most appropriate because it's happening very fast.
Okay.
1.
Oh God. 6 dice, and guess how many successes I got?
How many?
5.
0. Oh, dang.
All right.
I got 5 too.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, Roxy's a little dumbfounded, but Ian and Romero, you guys are sort of like looking over as this flash of like characters, and you see like kind of embedded in this like technical jargon, you're able to see it looks like a name that's part of kind of like the technical schematics, At first, it flashes Kuwasha, and then like there's another like mini wave, and it gets replaced with the word synapse, and then there's a final quick wave that washes over that, and it goes back to Kuwasha. And since you guys rolled so well on your culture roll, you certainly know who Kuwasha is. He was the aberrant who was the perpetrator of the possession crisis at the tail end of the Aberrant War, where this aberrant took over a lot of like cybernetic implants and like literally took control of people as a result of taking control of their implants and their like connectivity devices. And then there was like a huge conflict to try and like free these millions of people that he had cyber zombified. And in the result of that conflict is what caused the OpNet to crash globally.
Is there a way that I can have recorded this?
Yeah, I mean, you said you were recording, so yeah. But you also recognize the name Synapse as another aberrant who, and because you guys rolled so well, this is something that was deeply covered up, but you guys are just so knowledgeable. Synapse was another aberrant who was like the decisive person who took down Kuwasha. Like they fought in the OpNet as part of the final battle that finally pushed him out. And he was also a member of a notorious organization called the Terrigen that are not the most well-regarded people in history.
Oh God.
So there's like these are scary names that just flash over this.
Well, did we just fuck up?
Huh?
No, we didn't.
What was wrong?
Why are those two names in that pulse?
What, koala? It's like a marsupial.
Kuwasha, do you even know history?
Sounds kind of familiar.
I mean, you would know the name Kuwasha because
Yeah.
he's like one of the most notorious aberrants ever.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Synapse is a little a deeper cut.
We've got the names of two aberrants out of a giant frickin' pulse. One of whom can possess. Was it people or machines? Machines, you said.
Both.
Both.
Like, he could control the internet of the OpNet and people who had like been connected to the OpNet through cybernetic devices.
Anyone with the cybernetic implant would be at risk if Kuwasha is still around.
And
So
Synapse is the transhumanist terrorist who stopped him.
Yeah. Synapse was the Terrigen terrorist. Oof.
So what you do with that information is up to you, but it's in there now.
Panic.
Information is it's free, and I could get a lot of views. Anyone have any issue if I release this as part of some Ghost Wolf stuff?
Nope.
I mean, so long as I'm not visible on it, I don't really mind.
Yeah. Why did one of your contacts want us to do this?
The timer count on that 10 minutes of non-warm-up activity is quickly reaching its terminus. And as Roxy mentioned, there's no goat skull in here.
Okay, we need to find the goat skull if we're gonna get any money. But do we trust that the guy was legit? That the goat skull actually exists?
As far as I'm aware, Mock has a pretty good reputation.
Maybe a weird thing to.
I could
lie
look
about.
into him more, but not here.
Let's get back into the cafeteria room for a second. Reconvene, do some scouting, and reconvene in 10-15 minutes, unless that pulse was big enough that everyone saw it.
I haven't heard any terrifying alarms going off or firearms.
No, it seemed to be
Firearming.
contained. It seemed to be contained to this room.
Okay, let's book it.
All right. Someone wants to give me an enigmas roll to kind of track down this Gult Skull.
Yeah.
Like do some like puzzling out of where such a thing might be. So it's not in this like aberrant tech room.
Okay. What's everyone's enigma?
3.
Yeah,
And would
let's
this be cunning?
Yeah, let's let Roxy do it.
Yeah, let's let.
I would
Roxy
do cunning and probably intellect. Or sorry, not
Sure.
cunning and enigmas and intellect.
Sure.
I have one more. And I also rolled a 10. I have 2.
2 successes. Okay. Luckily,
was gonna be
you
more.
sort of puzzle it out, and luckily, you think that you like look into like a directory for things, and you see that the head administrator's office is down on this level, but it's further away from the room with the death robots. So you think if you go to there, and that's likely where this thing is. Because like you like scan through a thing and like you see a picture of one of the employees with like an employee of the month plaque in the director's office, and you see a Gult Skull like displayed on a shelf behind him.
She'll point it out to these two. Director's office.
So you can avoid the countdown by not, but you will eventually have to deal with it on your way out. But yeah, so you guys are able to locate that room, head there, and like you can see through the glass that says like head administrator, Marsha Lee, not Marsha Lee.
Well, like goat head administrator.
Yeah, like yeah, you see like sitting on like kind of like a display pedestal on her shelf, is a really old like lacquered, preserved looking goat head.
So are we going for it?
How big is it?
About the size of a head of a goat.
Oh, an actual one. It's not like a. Okay.
No, it is a actual goat head that like looks like it's been preserved. Like it's a skull, basically.
I have a backpack with enough space for a goat head.
Well, let's give it a go then.
Anyone want to set up the distraction?
Yeah, let's just go with everyone giving me larceny rolls to do a quick distract, smash, and grab, essentially. See how well it goes.
Then cunning, maybe?
Sure.
I have 2 on just cunning. I have no larceny.
Okay.
I got 1 success.
And then what about Ian? Is he making an attempt?
Yeah. One.
1. All right. So it's a little slapdash, but you are able to make some noise in the right direction. Get your way into this room. Grab the goat skull. Who picks the skull? Who actually puts hands on the skull?
Who got the most successes?
Roxy did.
That was me. Hello, little white gloves. Snap, snap. Then pick up the thing with like the cringiest expression possible and like awkwardly try to move it to the backpack.
So as you're kind of like trying to maneuver it, you like even with the gloves on, this thing has a real weird feel to it. Like it is just not necessarily a bad feel, but just a really kind of surreal kind of feel. And like you can also kind of like you start to feel a little off balance, a little woozy. And as you're sort of like trying to maneuver it, your eyes lock into like the empty sockets where the goat's eyes would be, and you're, for like a brief moment, you're not in this room. You are on like, you're on a bluff somewhere, like on a cliff overlooking a river. You're standing in a room that is completely white, and like this like sterile air is coming into your lungs. You're standing on the edge of this great like underground black pit, and then you snap back, and are here once again.
It's haunted. It's a ghost head.
Hope it's not haunted by Synapse or frickin' what's his face.
Want this body back.
Here, look at it.
I'm not looking at it.
Well, I had to look at it.
I don't want to end up being a cultist for some aberrant.
Oh, but it's cheap and easy and it's free.
Stuff it in the bag.
Yeah,
Someone
will
wants to
do.
do me a quick humanities roll to maybe get some
Sure.
insight into this.
I do not have humanities. I have culture though.
I have one.
Yeah, you're looking into this like you kind of like you're able to clear your head a little bit. When I say this thing is old, I mean this thing is ancient.
Trinity
This is
Continuum Adventure.
Truly ancient. Like not the 20th century. Like this is from antiquity. So it's probably not an aberrant artifact.
Is that better or worse if this isn't an aberrant artifact? It looks really old.
Better.
Is it?
For the moment, yes.
Okay.
Put it in the bag. I'll take it.
Putting the gloves in too.
Okay.
All right. So you all are able to, with some sneakery, you're able to sneak your way past the killer robots, back up into the upper area, and are able to get yourself out of this building without any further hullabaloo. And you have a mysterious, apparently aberrant tech beer can and a goat skull in your duffel bag. What's your plan from that point on?
I want to hide something in the goat head.
Okay, like a tracker or a beacon or something.
A beacon, but also I want to hide a copy of the video that we have of the aberrant tech going wonky with Synapse and what's his face? Kawasha, yeah. And like leave it as like a warning if anyone, whoever buys this, basically.
Okay. So like, okay, so you're like putting like a little like data stick or something.
Yeah,
All that.
I wanna spread this information around, and this feels like, I don't know, it just feels right to put those those events together in some way.
Yeah, you
Sounds
can.
a lot like you're interacting with the scary ghost skull.
Yeah. When you like start to like pick this skull up and like find a place to put it in, you also start to feel very woozy and like overwhelmed a bit. And your vision goes away a little bit. And you're not like transported away to other places and times. But you do see kind of like looming large in your perception, blotting out everything. What you assume to be the living, like alive face of this goat, and like its eyes aren't right. Like they're those weird goat eyes, and so they already look really messed up. But even beyond that, its eyes are just like hypnotic. It's kind of hypno goat.
Oh god.
A little bit. And it just goes, ah! And like you like fall on your ass.
When I fall on the cold hard ground.
Yeah. Thank you for getting where I was going with that without actually doing the joke. But yeah, so like this like hits you, and this weird ass image assaults your senses.
Man, god damn.
Ghosts.
Whoever's gonna be paying big money for this better have like very strong bones, because they're gonna be collapsing a lot. I wonder why the exec at this place, or whoever it was, the manager or whatever, wasn't getting affected by this. Maybe they were a cult. Maybe they're a goat cult of 3D printer warehouses.
Those are all words.
No.
The
I
conspiracy.
hear about those all the time on the news.
The conspiracy boards are gonna get a kick out of this.
Yeah. So once you're out of the kind of the local wireless opnet influence of the warehouse that you guys just exfiltrated from, you do get a ping from Mokdo requesting a status update.
I'm gonna send back. Basically, we're trying to lose any tails, and we'll meet you. And I look to Roxy. Where would you like to meet him?
I mean, he probably wants to meet at his garage.
Meet at your garage?
We
Question
could
mark.
go to a cafe.
He responds
hotel.
back. He's like, "If you guys think you're on a tail, better not meet up tonight."
Okay.
And he says, and he texts a kind of an Aeon safe house that's elsewhere in the city, and says, "Let's meet up after dawn."
I look to the other two and I say, "Who's taking the backpack?"
If I have to, I have to.
I
If you want
and
to.
you haven't looked into the goat head. Would you like to take
Don't
it?
do not join us in this experience. It's probably forever rewritten my neural pathways, and I'll only dream of goats now.
No looking at the goat heads.
Okay. I hand it to Roxy and I say, "Take good care of it with your first class security."
Will do.
I am going to get a stiff drink and not think about goats.
Hard not to. Every now and then.
Oh, you meant
In the
for
back
real?
Yeah. In the back of your head, you
It's invisible. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? There's nothing
Yeah.
there.
the joys of
Well, then let
mainstream.
go.
But anyway, yeah. So your dreams are haunted with images of goats.
I think a couple little quick to-dos this evening might be checking other Aeon Covenant contacts on what the heck the deal is with our current contact.
So you're like making some contact with
Yeah, just reach out and
Okay.
not say, hey, we definitely just encountered a terrifying aberrant attack and also a spooky goat skull, but like we did not encounter that.
Okay. If you would like to make a path roll, which would be your path rating in Aeon, and an attribute of your choice, basically.
Sure. I have Aeon Covenant leadership contacts.
Okay. Yeah, that'll definitely apply. Or that'll influence things.
So I'm rolling. Sorry, I mean to hear it again.
Mhm.
I've never done a path roll before, so I.
Yeah,
I
so
just know what the
it's your
rolls are.
path rating plus an attribute.
How do I know what the path rating is?
It's probably
It's
just
just
one.
the dots.
Okay. And then let's just do probably openly manipulating people.
Oh yeah.
I have 3, and one of them is 10. I have 3.
3 successes. That's actually pretty good. So yeah, you check in like you're doing this like over the night.
Yeah, she's probably not really sleeping much.
Yeah. So like, how much do you give up, like, in terms of information about, like,
As little as she can, but just
Okay.
enough to get people's interest.
Okay.
So just sort of like probably dropping that, like, you know, is doing some work with them and is kind of curious about the history with the aberrant stuff, because she's not really that familiar herself, but she's getting this weird vibe with some of the other organizations, certainly not with him.
Okay.
Just curious about what his other interactions have been like.
Yeah, you get back, like, you start to ask these questions and check up on things, and that kind of, with 3 successes, you kind of ask the right questions of the right people, and that stirs up a bit of a reaction.
Uh-oh.
And, like, you are on the phone call with the head of Aeon in Cascade within about 15 minutes, and he's saying, okay, Machno's on probation right now. He isn't approved to do any operations. I need to know what the hell's going on.
Oh, that is absolutely not the impression that I was given. She definitely trusts local leadership, so she'll spill the beans, but won't name these two.
Okay, so you're leaving those two out of it.
She's not naming them. She'll say that she's working with others that were hired, but she doesn't know anything about them.
Got it. Okay. And it seems like they're far more interested in getting to the bottom of whatever the heck Machno is up to than questioning unnamed assistants. That seems to be par for the course. But yeah, they take your full debrief, and like, pretty much straight up order you to report to headquarters, and get these items into containment.
I need to call these two.
Meanwhile, I'm just texting Roxy, being like, "When do you want to raid next?" Like, Terror Search raids are coming up soon.
So we'll message these two and actually, like, give them an update as well with what's happening on her end. She thinks transparency is a virtue with those you intend to trust and work with, as much as she may not be transparent with anyone else. I was gonna say, hey, it sounds like this might not really be on the up and up. And I've been ordered to do this. She probably wasn't specific about who it is who's currently holding the item either. So she's not totally at fault if they decide to throw it in a river. But we'll inquire with these two what they think should be done.
I'll say, I'll say, put some sort of. We have a tracker on the goat head. I put that in there. I'm being real upfront with you. There's the warning about the aberrants in there. If you want to put a warning in there about your friend, that is that's on you. If you want to go to goat land, how much of this information do you want off the record for Ghost Wolves?
I mean, I think that's up to you two.
I mean, if I'm
like, I would prefer not to be recorded in any way, shape, or form.
You're not recorded, but I'll put your friend on a list of people of interest.
That sounds like a reasonable plan. I think that's what we're doing too.
Okay. We'll blacklist him.
The non-profit industry could be so clandestine.
Taking down the establishment doesn't mean just burning down buildings and stealing goat heads. It means putting something back up after the rubble is all torn down.
I will.
Sure.
I will remind
destruction is a creative force and all that.
I will remind Roxy that Machno did say at the start of this that she wouldn't probably be able to find any legit authorization for this mission if she went looking.
Yeah.
Like, he was upfront about that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like, she doesn't think that he's, like, specifically manipulated her. She's just trying to figure out what the heck is happening with this whole plan. She's totally not opposed to, like, still delivering this stuff if this is what these two want to do. Just wants to see what the overall vote is.
I'm very torn because it could be, because I didn't know that information up front, that he didn't know that the people, it seems like he could be working in the best interests of the AI Covenant and the city in general, or he could be trying to go out on his own.
So
Or an
I
aberrant
suppose.
cultist.
Or an aberrant
Mhm.
cultist. That is
So do
more
you feel we
likely.
should meet with him?
I think we should meet with him. I don't know how we should do it, especially with the goat head and the device. The goat head was separate from the device, or did he want the device itself?
He wanted the device and the goat head.
And the goat head. Okay.
Yeah, and he claims that the goat head was like a side thing that he would get money to you for. But Roxy was able to like suss out that he had a
Yeah,
personal interest in it.
it seemed very important to him.
I just want to hide clues on these things. Just be like, in case people find these after us, to be like, connect them. I don't know.
Well, we will, seeing that we are reaching the end of our time slot, I will say that we leave this story in a state of uncertainty. That there are many questions not answered, many moral quandaries
skull.
that have to be sussed out, and we will leave the end of this unknown. However, if viewers want to maybe get some more insight into this, 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll be running Trinity Continuum Aeon Saga of the Goat Part 2.
After this stream, well, when this stream goes off, could we make a vote in secret of?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll go around the table. If anyone has anything they'd like to plug, socials, or anything that they'd like to get out there for your personal projects, I'm always in favor of people getting their name out there. So we'll start with Roxy. Do you have any hashtag influencer?
Sure.
Incredibles?
Hashtag be gay, do crimes.
Yeah.
No, I mean general stuff. This has been very fun. It's fun to explore the system. Anima seems really, really interesting. My name is Millie and or Bunny Hearted. I'm a 90s anime styled bunny girl VTuber. Mostly focus on like cozy vibes and inclusive spaces. I'm also a huge nerd for tabletop role-playing games. I love running them. I love playing them. I'm often found over on twitch.tv/dorktales, who are also really involved with the Onyx Path and OPP Con, as well as sometimes on the Onyx Path itself. And maybe other places randomly too. We'll see. Who knows? This has been really lovely. Yeah, thank you for running.
All right, Corbin, do you have any
Yeah.
things you want to get out there?
So I'm the Awkward GM Corbin. I'm on YouTube at the Awkward GM Corbin, and I'm on Twitter at Awkward GM Corbin, or at Awkward GM, and I'm at Reddit on sometimes hounding the White Wolf RPG subreddit and World of Dank memes, because I just love doing that.
Oh, World of Dank memes. Awesome. And Simon, do you have anything you'd like to inform the people about?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Tabletop Almanac, and it is, what is that? tabletopalmanac.wordpress.com is the basically my review site. I cover tabletop role-playing games. I'm going to be once I get a couple things edited, starting to shift format over to YouTube and Twitch. You can also find me. You will be able to find me again near the mid to end July, back on the Onyx Path Twitch channel, doing my Mage the Ascension 20th anniversary introductory series, Walking into Shadow. So keep an eye on the schedule for which specific Wednesday that is. Yeah, I think it's about that.
All right, and if you like my Trinity Continuum content, you can definitely follow us here on Twitch and YouTube at Simulacra TV. You can talk to me at Simulacra RPGs on Twitter, and if you'd really like to support the show and the channel, you can go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios and give us some money and get access to our private Discord, where you can chat with myself and all of my past and present players, and also get access to early access to casting calls if you'd like to play in any of my games. I don't think there's anything else happening Onyx Path Con related right now because we're at the tail end of things. So I don't think we're going to be raiding out to anybody. But make sure you check out the rest of the con.
And we're out.